Yo, peace was good. Welcome to another hip hop album review. This is part 169. The album that we'll be reviewing tonight is Jeru The Damaja's third album titled Heroz4hire, released in 1999. I know it's been like about a month since I did album review. I apologize. I've been, swamped with work, and then I've been collecting CDs like that I bought online and shit like that. So I'll try to get back with the reviews and stuff like that. The last album review that I did was actually the Heroz4hire joint, the Internal Affairs album. I hope you guys enjoyed that. So now continuing on, if you guys by now should know who Jeru The Damaja is. I did a review on his first two albums, The Sunrise in the East, which in my opinion is his best album, bar none. Production, just how raw it was, and I just love everything about that album. And around that time, that's where he dropped Primo, or Gangsta I should say, dropped Hard to Earn, which is my favorite Gangsta album. And and then 2 years later he dropped Rap for the Math, which was a good album, but I don't think it was his best, just because of the fact that I felt like some of the production wasn't some of Primo's best beats in my opinion, and also I didn't care for the subject matter. I mean, he didn't really have that much subject matter like on the album. He was just like throwing shots at people at the time, like do shots at the Fugees, Black Cowboys, do shots at MC Out Loud, from the Blase group with him and PF Cuttin, when he's just saying like how he's trying to jack his style and things like that, just going at Bad Boy Records, Puffy and Foxy Brown and Biggie and all that. So it was like too much of that. I felt like it could have had more subject matter and things like that. So right after Rap for the Math, it was the last time he worked with Primo, and it was because of the whole Primo making a song with Biggie and things like that. And I don't want to get into why that happened. Like, I don't want to throw, I mean, it's public information, you guys could go look at it, but I'm not going to spend time explaining why it is. But he kind of semi retired, you know what I'm saying? He put out like a couple of 12 inches, maybe like one or two. He put out like, I think it was like more of a white label, and it was, let me turn the music up. Yeah, sorry about that. He dropped a joint called East New York Stalks, and he dropped a joint called Friend or Foe, where he's throwing shots at Gangstar. You know what I'm saying? So, as you can see, there's static between them two, between him and the whole Gangstar family. Realistically, with Primo and Guru, realistically, because he didn't have beef with Lil Dap, because Lil Dap is actually on this album. Alright, and then he was quiet. You didn't hear from him in '98. Well, I'm lying. I think he was featured on DJ Honda's second album, the number 2 album, the H2 album that came out in '90. I think it was like '97 or '98 when he dropped that album. I think he was featured on that. He made a song called El Presidente, but I don't know if that came out in '98 or '99. But that was pretty much what he dropped, as far as like non-album wise of his in a sense. And then next thing you know, he started working on new material, and it ended up becoming this album right here. So this is what the album looks like. The singles off the album are 99% and Black Love. Those are the two singles off the album. That's what the album looks like. Pretty dope. It has like that mystical, Asian mixed with, it has like that, like that kind of like that Japanese feel to it, anime feel to it, but with a black, Rastafarian twist to it, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? That's what I got. That's what I get from this picture. And this girl right here is I guess the artist that was Jeru's artist at the time, Ms. Marvel. She appears on like 4 tracks on this album, and I think most of the songs are all solo tracks that she's featured on, which I'll talk about that later. But I'll open it up. That's what the album looks like. All right, that's what the actual CD looks like. All right, see, pretty good condition. All right. Open it up. kind of cheap. You know what I mean? It's only one. It's just one. You flip it over, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Because you know the budget. I guess he didn't have a real budget and stuff like that. No Savage production. That was his record label at the time. I don't know if he still has that. Alright. This is what the back looks like, you know, pretty much, and that's pretty much it. Production's done by Jeru himself. Jeru does all the production, and I'll talk about the production on the album. But yeah, he does all the beats and stuff like that. So you would think being around Primo, you know, you would at least learn something. I would hope so. But yeah. All right, let me get down through some of the tracks. Like I usually do. Track 1, Superhuman theme. It's pretty much an intro. Just hear Jeru talking like kind of like a robotic chipmunk voice. You know, just talking about the industry and things like that. Like how, you know, he plays as a superhero, you know, trying to save the world from the whack music and shit like that. But, you know, the radio is like the villains of the, you know, the world that he's in and stuff like that. So it's just like, it's pretty short. It's okay. It's kind of like unnecessary if you ask me. I understand where he was going with it, but it wasn't. Track 2 is a great solo stance. Pretty dope beat. Kind of sets the tone of the album. You know what I mean? It's a, you know, it's a braggadocio track. You know how he gets down. You know, just, you know, tearing down whack MCs, blah blah blah, and that kind of thing. Like I said, sets the tone of the album, things like that. Decent beat. You know what I mean? Track 3, Verbal Battle. That's actually the girl I was talking about, Ms. Marvel. That's actually a solo track from her. Jeru is not in the song at all. Like I said, she I wrote it down, which says she's also the lieutenant of the fictional Superhuman clique, which is, you know, kind of like Jeru's version of, like, I guess like his version of the Avengers in a sense. That's what I take of it, you know what I mean? Like I said, it's a solo track, and Ms. Marvel, like I said, is a solo track, and in my opinion, I feel like that's one of the best songs of the album. In my opinion, like I like the beat. It's kind of like unique, kind of. It's weird. It's like abstract. It's not something that somebody could just average MC could rap over. It's like somebody with skill that, you know, you would have to like rap with like a certain flow. It's weird. Like you would have to listen to the song what I'm from what I'm talking about. Track 4, Bitches with Dicks. Dope title. And I love the beat for that. Again, one of the songs that I like. It was one of the best songs off the album. It features, it's not on here, but I wrote it down. It features Little Dab of Group Home and Ms. Marvel. It just talks about fake gangsters and studio gangsters and stuff like that. And again, they all go in. Yeah, to me, definitely one of the best. Again, one of the best tracks off the album. I fucks with it. You know what I'm saying? Track 5, Seinfeld. He talks about how should I put this? He talks about the point of view of being a gangster. He just talks about what a gangster sees. You know, shit that a gangster goes through. You know, goes through hoes, goes through money. You know, but he also talks about, you know, the fact that, you know, the reality of you might go to jail for the shit you're doing, and, you know, the fact that you're killing people, you're hurting people, and things like that. And I thought that was pretty cool. My only gripe with this song was not only the beat. No, the beat was dope, but I just didn't care for the chorus or the hook. The chorus was la 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 la. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, it was pretty weak in my opinion. I didn't really care for that joint right there. Track 6, Renegade Slave, fucking dope. That could have been. If you was to make a video for that today with a dope budget, I think that song would be dope. Again, the production on here is kind of very different. You would have to listen to see for yourself. And I'll talk about more about the production, you know, towards the end of the video. But again, it's another dope song. He talks about a point of view of a slave, but, you know, a slave fighting back. Case in point, you know, he talks about Nat Turner. You know, Nat Turner kind of went on a rampage, you know, shooting like the slave owners, like went on a shooting rampage. shooting spree, to say the least. Then he talks about talks about Frederick Douglass, because back then it was black people, us, as brothers and sisters, black people, including myself, well, not me per se, but I'm like our ancestors, I should say that. Let me rephrase that. We were 3/5, or they were 3/5 of a human being, and we weren't allowed to read or anything like that. But Frederick Douglass is one of those cats that, nah, fuck that. Like, nah. You're gonna teach. Like, he felt like education was important. Like, the people, especially brothers and sisters, are supposed to educate themselves. He always believed in education, and that's something they can't take away from us, is education. Either is the government or anything like that. And that's what I got from that song, Renegade Slave. So, he talks about that, and I thought that was pretty cool. Track 7, Pressure. He talks about, living in the hood and things like that. But also how, what people go through, like welfare, and like, just fucked up shit, living in fucked up conditions and things like that. But also that people in the hood, not everybody in the hood, because I grew up in the hood, but have that ghetto mentality, and then like that mentality is not helping them prosper in life. Like, for example, like, if you try to go get a job, get a job interview, the way you talk on the block is not gonna fly in the corporate America. You know what I'm saying? And he kind of talks about that's what I get from the track. Like, like we gotta kind of like elevate ourselves from that. It's like get out your comfort zone and things like that. That's what I got from that song, Pressure. Track 8, Superhumans in Love interlude, which was fucking pointless. I don't know why you put that in there. Track 9, Another Victim. That's another Ms. Marvel solo track. That was okay. The beat it wasn't too bad. I thought it was cool. Track 10, Billie Jean, Safe Sex. It just talks about a girl that he met back in the day, that he used to fuck with, but then he got her pregnant and things like that. But in the song, he references Michael Jackson and Billie Jean, because the song Billie Jean from the Thriller album. But he's using, like, let me change the song.
Yeah. See me in terminology. Sending my blessings.
Sorry about that. Yeah, but in the song he references like Michael Jackson and Billie Jean, because Billie Jean, the girl he's talking about in the song, and Michael Jackson, but he's using it in a perverted way, in a sense. So Michael Jackson's like this hood nigga, and Billie Jean's like this shorty from around the way and things like that. So I thought it was pretty cool. Then he references like Janet Jackson, and I thought it was pretty cool. But it's like a self-awareness track, you know what I mean? Like, it's just saying the whole thing, you hook up with a girl, and then the whole thing like, oh, that baby's not mine, that kind of thing. You hear that shit a lot, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Track 11, Black Love. It's just talking about how, killing each other is not the answer. Again, it goes back to the song, Pressure, it talks about like how, or even the song, Seinfeld, where like, you're killing your own people, and by selling drugs, killing people, sisters like, just like, selling their bodies and things like that. That's not the way to go. We're never gonna prosper as people if we keep going the way we're going. And that's what I got with the song. Excuse me. That's what I got from the song Black Love. Track, what was it? 12. Yeah. What a Day. That was to me one of the weakest tracks of the album. I understood where he was going with it, but I didn't like the beat. I just wasn't too crazy about that. Track 13, Ms. Marvel. That's definitely another Ms. Marvel solo track. Yeah, it's it has an okay beat, things like that. And track 14, 99.9%, where he takes shots at Gangstar, Guru and Gangstar. I wrote, there's a line where he says, listen to the words I manifest, the moment of truth have cats stressed. Every time you in the east, they snatch the chain off your chest. You know what I'm saying? So he's taking shots at at Guru and things like that. So then he had a line where he said how you're not from Eastern New York, you're a snitch and you testifying and things like that. So yeah, and that's pretty much it, man. My synopsis of the album: it's an okay album. It's definitely one of his weakest, but it's not a bad album. I think it's a little bit underrated. I think he still had dope lyrics, but it just wasn't. The problem with the album was the production. I felt like the beats were very amateurish in the sense. You can tell he just started making beats. You know what I mean? Like he had a lot to go. He had a lot to go. Like I feel like some of the beats were a little bit too like plain in a sense where and some of them were like kind of very abstract, which is good because it fits Jeru, it fits his style, but it's just, I don't know, I feel like the beats could have been a little bit better. And my problem was this: he was using like the same drums too. Like some of the drums just didn't fit some of the samples, in my opinion, which I feel like it can be a very downfall. It could be a downfall to your song because when I'll give you a personal situation. Like when I first started making beats, a lot of people said like I had a dope ear for beats, for samples, but my drums didn't really fit some of the samples. And I started listening. At first, I couldn't really take constructive criticism, but I felt like the more and more, sometimes you need constructive criticisms. And I feel like Jay didn't really have anybody in his camp to really like tell him like, yo, like you could have added a little bit more. Like he was kind of like me against the world kind of thing. And I think that's what happened with Jeru on this album. He didn't really have anybody in his corner to tell him, nah man, you could have added a little bit more, or you could have done this. And it's like maybe he didn't have any access to drums or anything like that, but I would think like being with Primo, you would think that you would know some of the breaks and stuff like that, you know what I mean? But like I feel like, and that like again, some of the drums, like it sound like the same drums that he used, like a drum kit that he liked so much, or he, like I said, he probably didn't have access to. And I think that's what it was, man. And some of the drums, I felt like on some of the songs they were a little bit too hard, and like I said, it didn't really fit the melody, the actual harmony and stuff like that. So, and that was just my thing with this album. But again, not a bad album, but not his best. But it's not as bad as people make it out to be. I think the production was the problem with the album, but it has some decent joints. But I think the best songs, in my opinion, I like Great Sword Stance, Purple, Battle, Bitches with Dicks, Seinfeld, Renegade Slave. I like 99.9%. That was pretty cool. Another Victim, Billie Jean was cool. But I feel like the beats could have been a little bit better. But that's just my review on Jeru's third album. This is long out of print, might be a little bit hard to find. I got lucky and I found this at FYA a couple years ago. Glad to own it, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't really know about this album. They do, like some people do know about it, but they just kind of dismiss it just because DJ Premier's now on the album, you know what I mean? Which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. But he could have gotten like some other artists, like some producers. Like, he could have gotten like Lord Jamar, or he could have gotten, I don't know, Lord Jamar, or somebody in the underground, you know what I mean? Maybe not Beat My, I don't know, Beat My and Jeru, nah, that wouldn't sound right. Or Lost Professor, somebody that would fit his style. But Lord Jamar is brand new, makes beats and stuff like that, and then his sound at that time would have fit Jeru so well, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. I hope you guys enjoyed that review. Stay tuned for more. Peace. Yeah, and this album's out of print too, but if you can find it, pick it up. It's not too expensive. I seen it going for some decent prices online. So I guess if you want to add it onto your Jeru collection or the Gangsta Foundation collection, then highly recommend it. This is Heroz4hire by Jeru The Damaja, released in 1999. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Peace.